Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. I'm Tony Gerdeman here, as always, with Tom Orr. Tom, how's it going?
I'm just looking at this video right now, and the chair I'm on is about 4 inches shorter than the chair you're on. So whenever people meet you and I in person, they look at me and go, "Oh, you're taller than I thought." And it's like, well, yeah, he's taller than I am. We're both very tall, but he's taller than I am. It's like you're standing on a box or something. You've got the Tom Cruise lifts in.
This is a little misleading. Stiletto. And speaking of misleading, so welcome to an episode where we are discussing some Miami fan viewer comments on some of the shows that we have done. Now, the fun part of this, other than reacting and analyzing and dissecting these comments, is that Tom has not seen any of them. He does not believe in viewer feedback, trying to better himself and those sorts of things. So what I'm going to do is go through some of these and we will react to them and we will discuss them. And some of these are questions. Some of them might be considered more statements.
Are they positive, supportive statements?
Well, I left all the stuff that would hurt our feelings out.
Okay.
A lot of that. I mean, we could have done 4, 5, 15 shows on those. But first time, here's the first one. This is from at the Racy. All Miami has to do is replicate Indiana and Michigan and score more than 10 points. And so in replicating Michigan, I'm going to assume they're talking about 2024.
Yes.
Replicating Indiana, yes. And then score more than 10 points. And both of these, I think, are very difficult to do. Replicating the number one team in the nation's best performance.
Right.
That's a tough ask.
Yeah.
And then last year replicating a complete tire fire of a game plan from Ohio State and circumstances, also tough to do.
Right. I think, how much of the Big Ten championship game this year was Ohio State bogging down in the red zone because they were getting into personnel packages that were not utilizing their best players, putting a lot of 13 and 14 personnel out on the field. That's somewhat self-imposed. And I really want to be clear. I'm not saying Ohio State only beat themselves. Like, Indiana is a very, very good team. Indiana deserved to win that game. Indiana dragged Ohio State into exactly the kind of game that they needed to drag Ohio State into. Can Miami do all the same stuff that Indiana does? Because if you look at all the advanced stats, the Indiana defense is better than the Miami defense in virtually every category. I can pull up these stats from, some of a show that I did a week or two back on, in terms of like the best matchups, the worst matchups. Indiana defensive SP plus number 2, Miami 10 yards per rush allowed. Indiana 9, Miami 10 yards per pass allowed. Indiana's 19, Miami 11th. So that's the same. Indiana sacks 5th, Miami 16th in terms of sacks per game. So Indiana better in most areas there. How did Indiana beat Ohio State? Sacks, right? They got a ton of pressure. Ohio State ran the ball a little bit, but not fantastic. But it was really just the pressure. So if Indiana beat Ohio State by that much, and it was really because of the pressure, and Miami's defense has not generated as many sacks as Indiana's, well, that's one issue. The other is that was a road game for Ohio State. That was a 60-40, at least maybe 65-35 kind of crowd, because it was playing Indiana in Indianapolis in a stadium where Indiana fans had a multi-week head start in terms of buying tickets, all the stuff. Are you expecting an extremely pro-Miami crowd here on New Year's Eve?
I'm also not expecting Ohio State to lose a coach and then have that coach be in another state for a while, like Brian Hartline.
Yeah.
Whole thing. I'm not expecting Ohio State to be on the phone, the coaches to be on the phones with recruits trying to salvage a recruiting class. Not expecting the emotion of beating Michigan for the first time since 2019 to still be rolling around on heads. And I'm not saying Miami can't hold Ohio State to 10 points or 13 points in this game. I'm saying the circumstances leading into this game are vastly different.
Yeah, this is, like when there's a plane crash, it's like, what caused it? It's like, well, these 6 things all happen. These 6 failures all happen in this certain sequence. That's not an easy thing to replicate. It's, is it easy to say, Yes. All you have to do is limit Ohio State to 10 points and then score more than 10 points.
Right.
Oh, it's like, right now, Steve Sarkisian's going, why didn't I think of that? I could have won the first game of the season, been in the college football playoff. Yeah, it's easy to say on a fast, dry track indoors. It's not going to be easy to do. I do think this is going to be a relatively low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be that low-scoring.
Second one here, Tom, from Jeff Watson. And please don't read this.
I wouldn't dare.
From Jeff Watson, 151. We here now and can't go back. From this point on, it's ACC championship or bust because we're technically the real ACC champs. Tom, your thoughts on any of that, all of that, some of that?
I'm currently trying to picture like the Ed Reed, early 2000s Miami teams saying it's ACC championship or bust. Now, I know they were in the Big East at that point, but you know how they say if you aim for the moon and if you miss, you'll end up among the stars. This is like, well, if you aim for, if you aim for Charlotte and you miss, you might end up in Greensboro. Like, okay, it's okay. Yeah. Congratulations on your honorary ACC championship. I mean,
yes.
Listen, it was a Miami adjacent championship because that was former Mets shortstop Mario Diaz. Manny Diaz. Yeah. Won it. So that's Miami adjacency. That's the closest Miami has gotten to winning the ACC championship in 20 years or so. So that's something. Yeah. I think Miami is clearly closer to being a consistent ACC title type team than they have been in a long time. This is as complete a Miami team. Like we have spent 2 decades listening to Miami's fans, reading Miami fans typing poorly spelled comments about how the U is back. And, spoiler alert, the U has not been back for 20 years. It feels like this is as close as they have been to being back in a long time. Can they sustain it? We'll see. I don't know, bringing in a transfer quarterback every year. Sometimes that's going to work. Sometimes it's not. It has worked 2 years in a row for Miami. That does not mean it will work forever. So you're going to have to sort of figure that out at some point.
It has worked for Indiana.
So far. Again, congratulations on your 2-year win streak at the quarterback position.
I will say it's interesting that it used to be it's all about the U. Now it's all about the ACC championship. And, or getting there. We're trying.
People talk about the decline of American exceptionalism. This feels like the decline of Miami exceptionalism.
Yeah. All right. This one from F. Talk Shiesty.
You think that's his real name?
Yeah, perhaps. Given, yes. It took 6 years. I'm going to have to make sure I don't read any cuss words. I think YouTube probably gets that out. It took 6 years and still counting to reach a mid-10 title and win it. Indiana and Michigan have more recent conference titles, even Oregon. It took you 6 years to beat Michigan just to lose the very next week. Miami fin to show you levels you can easily shut out the trash mid-10 teams you played. I seen Michigan run the ball on you. They just can't pass. I seen Texas hold you to 14. Arch is not better than Beck. I seen Indiana hold you to 10 points. Penn State scored more. You will be beaten merciless. And when he says you, I assume he means Ohio State.
I was going to say, me personally, that seems a little threatening.
Again, it feels like the Miami fans so far in this show are referencing Michigan 2024 and ignoring Michigan 2025 because you keep referencing Michigan and how they were Ohio State, was shut down by Michigan. I think you need to recognize that that's the team that you're talking about that is getting shut down by Michigan is not the team that you are facing.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that team that got shut down?
That team won a national title. Now, they did not win an ACC title.
That's true.
So
that's true. Yeah.
There are limitations here.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of that is here are all the teams that have won the Big Ten more recently than Ohio State. Can we make a list of the teams that have won the ACC more recently than Miami? Because that's every team that's ever won an ACC title. But think Wake Forest won an ACC title. Didn't they beat
I believe so.
Riley Skinner? Didn't so Wake Forest has won an ACC title more recently than Miami, and
Probably Clemson, although it's hard to say.
Clemson. I mean, Miami was in. They were in the Coastal, right? Because that was a division where like 7 teams made it. All 7 teams made it in like to the championship game in 7 consecutive seasons. So, yeah, it's.
Did Virginia beat Miami in one of those?
Yes. Virginia has also made the ACC championship game more recently than Miami. That's a fun fact. Yeah, this also feels like a great opportunity to draw the line between, which we try not to be snobby here, but it does feel like a great opportunity to draw the line between Miami alumni and Miami fans, which are, I'm sure the 2 circles overlap because there are Miami fans who are also, Miami alumni who are also fans, obviously, but it doesn't feel, this feels like one of the schools where you don't have to try particularly hard to identify which of those pots individual comments are coming from.
You know, they call it the Walmart Wolverines, or like the fans versus the alums. What's the H grocery store that is there?
Well, around here it's HEB, but that doesn't really work.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, the Publix Picanes.
Next question or comments. This is from Florida-born puppies. What are you guys going to do after we beat you on Saturday? Again, I think they're talking about Ohio State.
Do you think these are old comments? I mean, there's a lot of we. Do you think these are all coming from players and coaches?
I don't know. I'm glad they didn't know who we were at Media Day today. What are you guys going to do after we beat you on Saturday? Because you guys up north has nothing else to do other than the Buckeyes. Best of luck in your off season. Now, fair point. There's not a lot.
Perhaps you have not heard of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
No, I'm going to side with Florida-born puppies here. Not a lot to do up north. And we talked in the Buckeye tomorrow morning about the distractions that Miami can provide the city and the surroundings. And one of the reasons that this team is doing so well now is that they've, I think, moved past a lot of those distractions. So credit to you, Florida-born puppies, and I admire your ability to push past the distractions.
Yeah, push past the distractions and focus on the important things, such as commenting on YouTube. It's listen, and birthing puppies.
All right. I just hope this is a reputable dog breeder. Rather than,
do you see the AKC certification there? No.
Well, all right. This from Just a Dad Legacy PW. I've watched multiple videos y'all make. I have come to the conclusion y'all don't know football. Good luck with thinking this won't be a super heavy defensive game. Miami D is about to eat. Watch the guys breaking down film. Now, Tom, we have famously said this is going to be an offensive shootout in every video that we've done.
Yeah, I remember saying if you can get them to give you an over-under north of 90,
right?
Just absolutely. I mean, you've got to figure you're getting pretty good odds on that, right? And then you just hammer the over. We've said that. We've said it over and over again. Yes.
If you can get that line to double digits, then it hammers.
Yeah, I don't know what we ever would have said that would have led anyone to believe that we thought,
maybe
I
we said one
don't
time
know whose videos you were watching, but I can assure you they weren't ours.
Damn it, Bill and Doug. I wonder if it was one of us said maybe Ohio State could probably score maybe 21 points. And it's like, you said what?
Yeah, we have not talked about our score predictions on air yet, but I don't think either of us have the game reaching 40 total points. And that's, this is on FEI, which is an advanced statistical system. Of all the bowl games this week, including the CFP games, this is the lowest projected total. And I think it's around 40 points total. And I think both of us are ending up picking less than that. So I don't think either of us are denigrating the Miami defense at all.
No, certainly not. Not yet. This next one, Tom, from Harry Hosh, 3793.
How was Harry spelled?
Harr.
Okay.
It's a name, not a descriptor. Ohio State is only better at having officials in their pocket. After the game, Jeremiah Smith will be on the Hurricanes plane heading home where he see the future. Tom, Do you think, is this requiem for Jeremiah Smith? Like, is this the winner gets Jeremiah? Is this where he finally decides? Is this his heel turn? Is this where he rips off his Ohio State jersey to reveal that he is part of the NWO?
Well, Tony, I don't think that's anything that anyone outside of Jeremiah himself could possibly know with any degree of certainty. So I can only say probably.
Oh, that's a concern. That's got to be the number one concern for Ohio State.
Can we, since I'm sure the officials in the 2003 Fiesta Bowl are going to be a recurring theme in the comments, yada, yada. Number one, Terry Porter, the official who threw that flag, didn't he win the call of the year from the National College Football Officials Association or something?
It was from the perhaps, but also Referee Magazine called it one of the 18 best calls in sports history. And I will remind people, sports history goes back to the Aztecs.
That's true. Yes.
And so there's a lot of sports in there. They credited his acumen and the courage to make a call in a big moment like that. And he said it, and he was quoted in the magazine saying, I just wanted to make sure I was making the right call because I understood the weight of the flag that was being thrown.
And also go back and watch with about 2.5 or so minutes left in regulation. There's a play where Ohio State wide receiver Chris Gamble gets held. Even the screenshot is extremely obvious. This is defensive holding. And then also catches a pass inbounds, and they manage to miss the holding and manage to miss the catch inbounds. The catch inbounds certainly would have been overturned given current instant replay technology. If it had been correctly credited, Ohio State would have had a first down with just over 2 minutes left. Miami, I believe, was out of timeouts or almost out of timeouts at that point, so they could have probably just about run out the game in regulation. So are the cowardly officials the only reason Miami was even gifted the opportunity to lose in overtime? You're hearing it more and more.
You're hearing it more and more. And then here's the last one. Well, listen to the last one for today. We've got to run. We've got to catch a shuttle here. This one from Jonathan Ragland. Perhaps a real name, maybe a descriptor. You guys are freaking clueless. Now, is this a reference to the great 90s movie Clueless, as in you guys are classic, timeless, I love everything you do, keep it up? Or is this the more accepted version of you guys are freaking clueless in that? Or, Tom, is he talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes when he says you?
Ooh.
I think that's probably what it is, because it couldn't be us. He's probably talking about the Buckeyes.
Well, I will tell you what, I will text my wife, since this sounds like it probably came from my wife's burner, and I will find out which one she meant, and then we can maybe address that on the next one of these shows.
Yes, and so by all means, look forward to the next one, because, we're not done yet. But if you're watching on YouTube...
Is that a threat?
Well, hey, a lot of threats have been thrown around in this show. It's only right that we get to throw some of our own. So that will do it from here. If you have not yet hit the thumbs up, please do if you're watching. 5-star rating and review on the podcast platforms. And you can continue to find us at BuckeyeHuddle.com. So that will do it from here. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will talk to you all later.